3 days of international webinar. So you can have the more explanation. So you can have the more exploration about the focus of this webinar through our the brilliant speakers across the world. So we have the speakers from the Singapore, the Japan, Australia, USA, UK, Morocco, and finally the very good speaker from India. So on behalf of all our RIT community, so I welcome you all. First, we will start with the invocation of Lord Ganesha from Mr. Niranjan, Associate Professor of Civil Engineering. Niranjan.
This is yeah. Gajavadana Paliso, Paliso, Gajavadana Paliso, Paliso, Gajavadana Paliso, Paliso, Trijagadodaya Shri Bhujagadbhushana, Trijagadodaya Shri Bhujagadbhushana. Gajavadana Paliso, Paliso, Gajavadana Paliso. Isudinake ninna vasava pogaluve, Isudinake ninna vasava pogaluve, Isudinake ninna vasava pogaluve. Lesa paliso nitya vasavanu tani, Lesa paliso nitya vasavanu tani. Gajavadana paliso, paliso, Gajavadana paliso. Bhaktiyor bhaji penu Rakambhara dhara, Bhaktiyor bhaji penu Rakambhara dhara, Mukti pathariyo Shakti swarupa, Mukti pathariyo Shakti swarupa. Gajavadana paliso, paliso, Gajavadana paliso. Odaviyolage ninna biduvararo ranna, Odaviyolage ninna biduvararo ranna. Shadi kayo Vijaya Vithala Dasa, Kadu Harushadi kayo Vijaya Vithala Dasa. Gajavadana paliso, paliso, Gajavadana paliso, paliso. Trijagadodaya Shri Bhujagadbhushana, Trijagadodaya Shri Bhujagadbhushana. Gajavadana paliso, paliso, Gajavadana paliso, Gajavadana paliso, Gajavadana paliso.
Thank you, Mr. Niranjan. So now I request Professor Ramaiah to welcome this international webinar. Yes, sir.
Good morning to all of you. I appreciate Dr. Niranjan for such wonderful melodious rendition of the God, Ganesha, to see that the program goes uninhibited and uninterrupted. Very nice of you. Now, I welcome all of the delegates, co-faculty members, and expert speakers who are available abroad on the board, and my dear students. I would like to say why this program is required. Your syllabus may undergo revisions over a period of time. It will take its own time for implementation. But today the world is changing at such a rapid state, very difficult to catch its speed. Therefore, the induction or embedment of the IT technology in all the domains of the civil engineering becomes a must for our futuristic survival. So keeping that in mind, my team members, especially headed by Professor Nisarama sir and his competent team members, have organized this program for the benefit of all of you. So my request all of you is make the best use of it and be in contact with the concerned people and learn the technology, and you people become the future leaders. With that aspirations and the goals, I declare this program is open now. Now, to say a few words about this program, you know that why this is relevant, because as I said, different domains, interdisciplinary, multiple disciplinary approaches are becoming order of the day. You cannot live yourself only with the civil engineering profession. You need to depend upon the IT, drones, technology, electrics, so electronics, so computer science, everything is making inroads into other zones. So therefore, to have a grip over that, it's a must for to know. Keeping all that, this kind of a program has been arranged. Every topic is of relevance to you. You will realize it over a period of time. Just to give a sample of this program content, so this is very nicely kind as usage of innovative technologies and solutions in civil engineering. That's a beautiful topic, and this goes on for 3 days, starting from today, tomorrow, and day after tomorrow. We have the learn and expert lecturers or the expert talks by the 7 people. Essentially, to start with, Mr. Yoshiya Nakagawa is from Japan, and he is going to talk on the topic of the passenger traffic survey with Wi-Fi packet collector and applying big data to a metro project formulation in Nairobi. You will learn a lot about that. And we have the second speaker, Dr. Prashant Motwani. He is going to speak about structural health monitoring using advanced wireless IoT-based sensor technology. And the third speaker is Mr. Subham Karel. He is from USA, University of Texas, and he is going to talk on a very beautiful and relevant topic, that's bridging urban planning issues using geospatial technology and image data. And the fourth speaker is Dr. Set Lahsi, and he's from Morocco, and he's going to talk on a topic like precision forestry, geospatial data, and machine learning oriented approach. Then we have the fifth speaker, Dr. Josfaro Kunapo. He's from Australia. He is going to deliver a lecture on topic entitled Spatially Explicit Framework for Climate Adaptation, a case study. And the sixth speaker is a good friend of mine. He is Dr. Krishna Reddy. He is from University of Illinois, USA. And he is going to deliver a lecture on recent advances in geo-environmental engineering sustainability issue. And the last but not the least is Dr. Ramarao Madhuri. He's a senior urban planner. He's from Hyderabad. He's going to talk. He's going to interact with you on a topic, impact of GIS technology in the preparation and implementation of master plans in India. I'm really amazed how much of effort must have gone in to get the best brains on one single platform so that you people could be the beneficiaries at the end of the third day. My humble request to all of you, my dear students, make the best use of this, get connected, expand your network, and be leaders and be successful people in your lives. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Good morning, everyone. Now it's time to introduce our first speaker. It's a great honor for me to introduce and welcome our efficient speaker for this first session, Mr. Yoshiya Nakagawa. He is General Manager for Infrastructure Development Division at PADECO, Japan. PADECO, Pan Development Consultants for Present and Future Generations, which is an international development consulting firm established in 1983 under the laws of Japan. PADECO has its headquarters in Tokyo, Japan, and is certified under the Indian Standard Organization 9001 2015 standard. He has a strong professional operations with BA and MSc degree focused in civil engineering from Nagoya University and professional engineer certificate of construction and comprehensive technical management in Japan. Mr. Yoshiya is an experienced transport planner with a demonstrated history of working relatively strong interest in metro, urban transport system and services, but also covers cross-border trade and industry development. Mr. Yoshiya has more than 24 years of rich experience on infrastructure development domain and he holds various positions such as Supervising General Manager for Infrastructure Development Division, Transport Planner, General Manager for Infrastructure Development Division, Chief Consultant, General Manager for Project Development Division, General Manager for Eastern in Bucharest, Romania. During this time, he has finished several activities like promotion of company in Romania and countries in Balkan, management for the M6 project for Metrodex, General Manager of Infrastructure Planning Division also. He is skilled in transportation planning for both urban and cross-border from metro to paratransit, feasibility study for metro, bus services, highways, and FIDIC-based project management. He is having intensive regional experience in Eastern Europe, the Middle East, and Eastern Africa. We are so honored and happy to have you here in this international webinar, sir. Now I call Mr. Yoshiya Nakagawa to illuminate our minds with his excellent knowledge. Thank you, sir. Over to you.
Yeah, thank you very much. So it is my turn to start my presentation. Nice to meet you, everyone. Nice to meet you in the student of the Ramaiah Institute of Technology. So can you hear me properly?
One minute, sir. 1 minute.
Yes, please.
Can you speak now, sir?
Yes. Yes. So let me repeat. My name is Yoshiya Nakagawa of PADECO. Thank you for introducing myself to the participant. I'm in Tokyo. Tokyo is sunny day today, and we are now in the good spring season. The temperature is 25 degrees today. 1 week ago, the maximum was 15 degrees, but the spring has come in Tokyo. I think in India, April in India is quite a high temperature, the 40 degrees or 45 degrees somewhere. And as I was introduced, today I would like to explain about my experience of the passenger traffic survey with Wi-Fi packet collector. And it is a kind of new technology application and big data application in our transport planning sector. And I think that you can see my presentation. Yes, I hope so. And this slide shows the one article of the newspaper in Japan. It is just 3 years ago, the Construction News Japan, and my achievement was introduced in a newspaper. And let me first introduce the technology of the Wi-Fi packet collector, or AMP.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir. Just 1 minute.
Yes.
We're having some technical issues this side. Just give us 2 minutes. We'll get back to you.
Okay. The 2 minutes. お、
Hello.
はい。
So can you speak now, sir? We'll just
Oh, okay.
it's
So
better
let
now.
me start again. I think you can see my screen. How to say? Yes, I think you can you can see my screen. So I think I have already explained about the Wi-Fi packet collector and the AMP is supported by the friend company, JERIS, Japan Research Institute of Social System. And this study is supported by the JICA study, Japan International Cooperation Agency. And so let me start. My contents is almost, I have 3 parts of my contents. First one is the background, why we need traffic surveys, why we need to do traffic survey, and technical background, what is AMP counter, or how can we use it, and the privacy concern about the application of the IT technology. So I think I have 60 slides. So I think I can introduce I will explain my idea within 60 minutes or 50 minutes around. So let me start. So why traffic survey is needed? I think everyone belongs to civil engineering part, and one of the objective target structure of the civil engineering is road or transport infrastructure. And for transport infrastructure, we need to analyze the user attitude or user behavior. And we should, and now we are working for urban transport system. So we should know about how commuters travel. Some commuters use private cars. Someone walks. Someone come from out of the city, not inside of the city. Some do not come every day. Some do not pay. Some doesn't want to pay. Some are not affordable to pay. Some people dislike commuting. Some are locked down. And we should clarify what kind of commuters in the city itself. And this photo, the top photo, is taken in my traffic survey in Mombasa in 2015. In Mombasa, I did such kind of roadside interview survey. We are expecting expand the transport network of Mombasa, Kenya. So before such making a planning of such infrastructure investment, we need to do such the traffic survey, counting survey, or roadside interview survey. I think some of the students did assisted such traffic survey on street. And I think you can understand what they are doing. And I show some another photos. This is kind of blood taking. We can compare with blood survey and the traffic survey. And let me go next. I think you understand this kind of the photo. This is the blood cell, red blood cell, white blood cell, something. And this is a circulation of the arterials or blood pipeline, how to say, the blood in your body. And perhaps everyone doesn't know about this machine. This machine is an automatic counting system of the blood cell. Around the 1970s or 1980s, for the detailed analysis of the blood cells, everyone watch into the microscope. In the hospital, there was many microscope, and the professional doctors count the blood cell through the watching inside of the microscope, and evaluate how how many red cell in 1 milliliter, such thing they analyzed. But right now, around the 1970s, after 1970s, 1980s, such automatic blood cell counting machine was invented, and the hospital doesn't have to count such blood cell right now. And this is a blood pressure machine, measurement machine. And the number of blood red cell or white cell represent the whole condition of the antivirus condition. Ratio of protein inside the blood, condition of kidney, liver virus, uric acid, such thing. And blood pressure suggests the level of the congestion, circulation of the blood, and the health of arteries. The health of arteries, it is quite important. And we can, for example, in Nairobi, this is a kind of the result of the personal ownership of the traffic transport method, traffic means. For example, everyone has radio, TV set, mobile phone, but it's a bicycle just 10%, a motorcycle 3%, the car or truck the 3%. But it can represent the number of blood cells in Nairobi. I think in your city you have this kind of analysis, and the daily volume of blood cell. How to say, this is a kind of the purpose-based traffic survey. How many trip in a city per day, and this is a traffic network or present condition of traffic network in Nairobi. And in the transport planning, I think you will do this kind of application analysis. This is we call it network analysis, and the red color represent the congestion level, volume capacity ratio of the road network. This is a city of Nairobi, center of the city, and they have main arterial and the bypass they have. And we have a kind of surgery idea of the traffic network in Nairobi, the expansion of the arterials to this is an expansion plan of the arterials in Nairobi. And after the surgery, the blood pressure can be eased. High tension can be eased. So we can compare the flow of the traffic as a human body arterial improvement, like this. So this is why we need the traffic survey is quite important. We should understand the situation of the traffic of the city, and through the variety of the traffic survey. And there are many kind of traffic survey for the transport planning. We call it the person trip survey, stated preference survey, or revealed preference survey, cordon line survey, screen line survey, traffic count survey. But everything is just counting of the number of the cars, or counting number of the number of the passenger, or just interviewing with the sample survey. Just take the sample of 2% of the passenger and ask their behavior. So we do such kind of traffic survey. And this is Nairobi. In Nairobi, we had a plan to develop a loop line like this. This is a Nairobi CBD and the city area itself. And we have proposed some monorail or MRT route around the Nairobi. And the white line is the existing railway. Yellow line is a BRT, proposed BRT. And this is a kind of traffic analysis zone in Nairobi. And our target area is around here. And target is around here. And we need new passenger survey in the CBD area. We had in Nairobi, we had a variety of movement and unclear routing, high fluctuation. And so that's why we tried to apply the new technology of the traffic survey in Nairobi. And I will move to the explanation of the technology. What is AMP counter and how can we use them? I think the participants, I can see the view of the participant in the classroom, and I would like to ask you. So I think you have smartphones, and I think you keep your mobile, your Wi-Fi always keeps on. Just can you raise your hand? How many people always keep your Wi-Fi on? If you, I can see exactly, but if 50% or 60% always keep Wi-Fi on. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And many people own smartphone right now, and the smartphones always emit a signal of communicating with Wi-Fi routers around you within the reachable area. And we can use receive the signals between the smartphones and the Wi-Fi routers. We call it the probe packet. Such the mechanical communication is always done by the smartphones, and we can use such received signal to collect the number of the person and the movement within the target area instead of the interview survey. Interview survey is quite takes time and not so accurate. But if we apply the Wi-Fi based technology, it is quite accurate. And this is a kind of system, the drawing, each icon. This is the Nairobi city map, and each icon shows the location of the Wi-Fi packet counter. And each machine receives the Wi-Fi packet from the smartphones. And through the 3G or 4G network, how many numbers, the result of the Wi-Fi counting is delivered to the internet and the server, and our server will analyze the result. And this is the photo of the Wi-Fi packet counter. We call it AMP, the name of our inside of our team. We call it AMP, anonymized MAC address packet. In the probe packet from the Wi-Fi, from the smartphone, it contains the unique MAC address. MAC address is a machine. I forgot the proper name of the MAC address, but I think some of you understand what is a MAC address. And the MAC address is a unique number of each smartphone, so that we can identify the MAC address we can identify the MAC address in the the small server, and if we receive, when we receive the probe packet request, we make it anonymized, and store the MAC address and upload the data to the server. And let me skip this one. This is important. So the JICA survey team developed the comprehensive person trip-based real-time traffic data collection system. We call it AMP counters or Wi-Fi packet counters. And the target area was for Nairobi. And we started this kind of survey system from the 14th July of 2017. So now we have mobilized this kind of system for 5 years around, and it counts 24-hour basis, 24/7 basis. And this system detects the Wi-Fi probe signals from the smartphones of the Nairobi citizens. And this system covers the 83% of the area of the CBD, and it will give much more accurate traffic data based on the passenger-based traffic data. And this is a kind of the before application of this kind of system, we studied about the ownership, the smartphone ownership, and 80 to 85% of people has smartphone, and they keeps. Do you have the young students has high ownership of the smartphone? It is, of course. And this is a Wi-Fi usage. How many people always keep Wi-Fi on? So the 30% people always keep Wi-Fi on. So we can detect 30% of the passenger, the movement of the passenger. So usually if we do interview survey of the traffic survey, if we do the traffic survey, interview survey in an area, usually we will do 2 to 3% the sampling ratio, because it is probed by the statistic analysis. 2% to 3% is enough for the counting survey, but we can do more accurate surveys through the Wi-Fi system. And we installed 42 Wi-Fi packet sensors, Wi-Fi packet collectors in Nairobi. And the system is like this. If one person move from the detecting area of AMP sensor, Wi-Fi packet collector, and after that, if this person move to other area, the movement of this person is recorded by the server. This AMP sensor collect the unique ID of this smartphone, and then next, if this person goes into the area of the AMP sensor, this sensor will collect the unique ID of this one, and the next, the AMP sensor C count the unique ID of this person, and in all area we can summarize such traffic counting result. And this is a map of the location of the AMP sensor in Nairobi. In the city center, we have the yellow area. Inside of the CBD, the yellow system was listed like this. And in the inner ring road, along the inner ring road, we provided the 10 or 11 sensors around here. And the outer ring road was the entry point from the arterials, outer arterials. We put the green Wi-Fi packet sensors like this. And this is a detail of the inside of the CBD. And if we, and usually Wi-Fi packet, Wi-Fi can connect, Wi-Fi can reach around 150 meter to 200 meter radius. So how to say, we depicted the 200 meter radius buffer for each Wi-Fi packet sensor. And we can say that 83% of the Nairobi CBD is covered by our sensor system. And this is how to say, the photos, how we developed the Wi-Fi sensor. We constructed the poles, like a 5 meter or 7 meter height poles, and put the Wi-Fi sensor on the top of the pole. And this is how to say, the switching box for the Wi-Fi packet sensor. This is a system itself. And the system can demonstrate how many persons will come into the urban core, what time they come, and what time they leave on 24/7 basis, and how active people are there, and the OD movement and the micro scale OD. So let me show something. This is a bit difficult to understand, but it's from July. This is the record of the July 2017, I think. In the middle of July, the whole system has started to work. And the 15-16 is July 15-16 is a weekend, the Saturday, Sunday weekend. And blue is a whole detected ID. And the orange is a unique ID, number of the unique ID. The orange is, this orange is the same. The better to explain about this orange, the meaning of the number of the orange. In the weekday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, around Monday, Tuesday, in Nairobi, in our system, we counted almost 300,000 unique ID in our system. So we expect we counted unique number of the 300,000 people in Nairobi. And for example, in the weekend, the number comes less because the CBD is not so busy. And on the Thursday of 20, there is a campaign of the presidential election campaign on the 20th. And this weekend also they had the presidential election campaign. So the number of unique ID was same to the weekday. But the blue one is how active the passenger are. The weekend, the weekday, there are many traffic inside the CBD. So we counted 300 movements, 3 million movements per day. And it means that one person is moving around, and as a result, the 10 AMP counters detected the same person in the system, or the one person go around the 10 of the counting system in a weekday. We can explain such thing from this result, and this is a OD table. I think the student of the transport planning can understand what is the OD table. We have zones of the AMP and the zones of the AMP X and Y, and how many people are moved between the AMP counters. But it is quite hard to understand. So we try to depict this kind of table like this. This is we call it code diagram. The code, this is a arc. We call it code diagram, and the arc, length of the arc represent the number of the passenger, and the code between the arc shows the movement, and the width of the code shows the traffic volume. And this kind of the code diagram can explain where is the most the traffic generated point, and which movement is the biggest among the AMP counters. And there's also this is July. Such OD movement always changes. So we can see the July 5th movement, July 4th movement, we can detect every day because the AMP counters work every day. And if we detect in Nairobi, there's we can define the outer ring road of Nairobi, and we can show the movement inside. We can show the radial route on the map, and we can show the OD between the radial route. And also the inside the city, in the system, the system automatically calculate how many number of people walked from this point and this point like this. And this one, our AMP counter are located just the entry point of the radial route, and this kind of this kind of movement between from the radial route can be shown like this. This is the northern part of the northern part of the Nairobi. This is the eastern part of the Nairobi, southern part of Nairobi, western part of Nairobi, and the western part traffic comes into the eastern part. This traffic comes into next, and this part is highly connected with the southern part. So such the movement can be shown like this. And this is same idea for the outer ring road. This is the inner ring road, outer ring road. And this kind of analysis is there are 5 or 6 bus terminals in Nairobi, and we show the the CBD North, CBD South, downtown. Yes. So the bus, this is a traffic generation from the bus terminal zones, and the CBD, how many passengers go to the which location, downtown central. The biggest movement is a bus terminal to the downtown central, and the next one is a bus terminal to the downtown south. So such movement can be depicted on the system. And this kind of movement is depicted like this. And I think this is a, this is a system output itself. This is a result of the 2017 September. And better to show this one, not this one. This one. So this one. This is the sample monitoring, AMP monitoring for the 42 locations. This is a daily movement from midnight to the midnight. And this is a morning period. And in the morning period, the morning peak coming into the CBD. we can see the morning peak, and the evening peak after 5 p.m. or 4 p.m. Everyone go out from the city, so the traffic comes like this. This is a Wednesday pattern of the Wednesday. And there's an morning peak, the Ngara bus terminal counted this 1,600 count, and the evening peak 1910. And the next 11, this is Wednesday, Tuesday, and Monday. Every day, the peak number of the peak is different, but these are almost same patterns they can show. And the Sunday is quite different patterns they show. The Monday, weekday, the Haile Selassie road has a peak count, but for Sunday, the maximum counted position is the Tomboya Accra bus stop area, and it is quite smaller than the number, passenger number of the weekday. And I will explain about this kind of how to say. I think some of you are familiar with the JavaScript, and JavaScript can how to say, and the D3.js is what we used for the depicting our data on the HTML. The D3.js, this picture shows the example output of the D3.js. It provide a lot of patterns of the data visualization. So this is quite useful to prepare the analysis, the visualization of the analysis. And the D3.js was developed for the vital demand of the gene analysis. And this is a kind of the analysis result of the gene itself. And this is quite useful for the analysis, so that we used the D3.js. And I think you have already seen some. You can access the explanation of the detail of the D3.js application on the YouTube or SNS. So it is quite interesting. And the semantic analysis. So this is strong. How to say? This is a original interest of the transport planning. We are transport planner, and we should consider about the development of the transport system in Nairobi. And for Nairobi, we have this kind of traffic analysis result. So on this arterial, we have 35,000 passenger, 19,000 passenger. This shows the traffic over each route, but we cannot find much about the relation between the relationship between those traffic. So we put we put the Wi-Fi packet collector on the alignment of the arterial road of the outer ring road, and try to clarify the movement between the arterials from the outside. So inner shell surrounding CBD and outer shell surrounding the CBD, and the packet collectors are set at the intersections of the 8 radial corridors and shells. And this shows the model. This shows a model of the location. This is a CBD inner ring road. We put 10 AMP, and then the outer ring road we put 8 AMPs. And as a model, like this is same. And we prepared the OD between the ABCD to ABCD, EFG, H, and OD from the 0 to 9. And the OD table are automatically generated by the server. And then this OD shall be visualized through the D3JS. And how to say, we call it code diagram. Shape of the code diagram is same to the shape of the outer ring road, so that everyone can understand how passenger move around the ring road, or inside, how passenger move inside of the ring road. This kind of drawing can be generated automatically just how to say, 10 minutes after it can be depicted automatically. So the instant drawing of the desired line or OD movement was materialized by the geometrical integration of the urban shell and the code diagram. And I think for the transport planner, this is quite interesting result. We never see such the difference of the OD pattern between the weekday and the weekend. This system generates the OD table of Monday, OD table of Tuesday, OD table of Wednesday, OD table of weekend. And the traffic pattern is almost same, but it's a little bit different from the weekend and the weekdays. And the analysis of the movement of the inner shell. This is a case of Nairobi. And in Nairobi, right up to left. Right up means northeast to the west. Such movement, we can see AA. AA is one of big traverse movement inside the CBD. So we can propose, we need the proper traffic, the infrastructure, transport infrastructure between the A to A or B to B or 1287. 1287 has a potential demand of the transport development. And for outer shell, the same movement shows the D. The D is the biggest traverse movement, and E to E. E to E is basically it has already outer ring road, so the E to E is quite high movement, and we propose the metro for E to E. And this micro scale or meso macro scale analysis shall be integrated with such macro analysis. So this is and in the near future, now we are trying to propose the metro proposal in Nairobi, and we have some idea where is the potential stations in Nairobi, so that we can put our AMP counters on the each metro station. And so if we put such the data, we can analyze potential metro user in the city. And I know in India, metro is quite the big business, and I'm working for Mumbai, and the Mumbai line 2 and 7 has recently opened. And in near future, I will be in Mumbai and Nairobi, not Nairobi, Mumbai and Patna. JICA has interest about the investment of the Patna metro, so that I will go to the Patna and do similar analysis for Patna. And applicable. The other than EU countries, this can be applied. This can be applicable and everywhere we can develop, but the EU country, we have GRDP regulation. So a little bit covered to apply this kind of system, but other than EU countries, we can apply easily to install this kind of system. And for arrangement in Kenya, we coordinated some technical analysis with the Communication Authority of Kenya. And they agreed about the technical compliance about our system. And we studied about the communication law, and our system doesn't have censoring or overwriting, so that it will not violate the communication law or constitutions of Kenya. And before installation, we did the local authorities coordination, and we announced this kind of system application 2 times in the newspaper. And we did 2 times public consultation meeting. And the passenger volume change. Yes. And this is a recent analysis. The passenger volume change under the pandemic situation. This graphic shows the 2017 September, every 60 minutes total passengers in Nairobi, somewhere in Nairobi, and the maximum passenger number of passenger is around 30,000 per 60 minutes in the evening peak hours. And this is a comparison between the 2070 and 2020. The same location, and the maximum number was 16,000 per 60 minutes. So that is a difference. Before the pandemic, the Nairobi, the commuting behavior, or our AMP counters counted 30,000 passenger per 60 minutes in the CBD area. But it comes the 40% or 50% less than before. And in 2020, December 1st, these are counting of the major locations in Nairobi every 50 minutes. And see. Let me skip, but for example, in Japan, in Tokyo, our media report the fluctuation of the passenger in CBD, and it can be used to assess the lockdown policy. And our Nairobi counting system provides the same information in Nairobi immediately. So based on our analysis, we counted and found in 20 locations of Nairobi passenger decreased approximately 30 to 40% from 2017 to 2020. And this data can be used as an assessment of the lockdown policy in Nairobi, or form the disinfection strategy, or manage the passenger transport services. And some measurement, let me show some measurement. This result sometimes shows the accuracy of our passenger counting methodology. This is the fine weather day and rain day, the 11th of July and the 12th of July. And there's a difference of the passenger volume around here. And this is a fine day. This is a rainy day. And if it overlaps, this is a different. These are difference. And the red area, this is a delay due to the rainfall. And this is the usually peak hour last around 7:30 in the fine day, but in the rainy day, the congestion situation is worse than the fine day, so that we can visualize how many delays in a day. And this is the pattern of the Saturday night or Sunday morning. And the one counter shows very abnormal result in the very evening. And the one counter counted 1,800 count as 2:40 to 3 a.m. And this is we are very surprised about this result. But at that time, the famous Nigerian singer had an outdoor event in the parking of the CBD area. So our system counted this kind of the crowd in the CBD. So this is quite an interesting result of our system. And next. And this is what we studied about the privacy. And the Article 31 of the Kenyan Constitution, the privacy of their communication infringed. Every person has the right to privacy, which includes the right not to have the privacy of their communication infringed. This should be considered. And the Kenya Information and Communication Act in 2009, it says intercept of a message, disclose to any person the contents of the message, disclose to any person the contents of any statement. Such regulation, there are such regulation, and our AMP system doesn't violate this kind of articles. Kenya Information Communication Act doesn't allow interception or causes to be intercepted or disclosure of the communication. So our system will not damage. And the compliance to Constitution and the law of Kenya is quite important. The AMP counter doesn't read any contents of the communication. It's just the count, the AMP, not AMP, the MAC address of the probe packet. So the result immediately convert into another unique ID. So that we don't trace the personal data of the MAC address, and then we cannot trace any person based on this system. And these are major trends. Let me skip compliance to the major trends. The AMP system has anonymity, untraceability, strict data management to prevent the leakage, and opt-out. Opt-out is quite an important policy to apply this kind of system and utilize the big data for public benefit. And we are now, this is the end of the slide. This system is quite new, but after the development of this system, we have 5 years, and this is a little bit new, and fourth application in the world. The Nairobi was the fourth application, and the first application for urban transport planning. And the system will be handed over to, this system is already handed over to the Nairobi city government, or the University of Nairobi is also will be involved in near future for the server maintenance. And it also respects the privacy concerns. It never touches any contents of communication, and in compliance with the EU or Japan latest requirement on privacy, so that it is quite safe technology for the public. And the public consultation was done before the installation. And also I tried to have such hackathon based on the data from the AMP counters, and try to open a hackathon event for the student of the Nairobi University. But unfortunately, the Nairobi University of Nairobi closed due to some violence inside of the university. So this hackathon event was canceled. But this kind of the open data policy is quite important. So we are going to have such the open data event in near future. So I'm not a professional lecturer, so I'm not sure that you understand everything of our application in Nairobi. And I don't have a slide, but it's just the verbally I will explain. We have such passenger transport survey technology, variety of the passenger transport data collection technology. We have, for example, we have some application on the smartphone. If you download some application, and if you force the participant or passengers to install the application, you can detect the movement of the passenger. One is application, apps, and the GPS tracker. We can distribute GPS trackers, but it costs. And the CDR, caller dial detail record. The mobile phone company always keep the CDR, the caller detail record. And it can be analyzed by the telephone company, company like Airtel or the Tata Mobile. They can analyze, but they usually doesn't want to disclose such data. And we have CCTV system in the city, and the CCTV system can detect the face of the passenger, and we can trace the movement of the passenger, but it's not so easy to detect the face of each person. And for example, the TomTom, the one company of the transport data, or some device producer, TomTom, that provide such traffic database for each cities all over the world. So the TomTom data is quite useful. But our Wi-Fi system is quite easy to develop, and easy to develop, and our analysis system always provide the result automatically. So that this is quite the useful system for the traffic survey even in the cities in India. And the PADECO India also support such kind of the AMP collector installation. I would like to expand this kind of system in India or all over the world. So let me close my presentation. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your excellent presentation, sir.
No, thank you very much.
Now the session is open for question and answer. If anybody have questions, please come and ask here. Sir, some students have few questions here. I will call the students to come up.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Konnichiwa, sir.
Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa.
So I wanted to ask about what is the percentage of accuracy in traffic-based survey based on Wi-Fi?
Yes, the accuracy is quite high. How to say the accuracy it is how to say there is once if I compared with such manual based traffic survey, it is quite high, and the manual based traffic survey the counter the person how to say enumerator that sometimes doesn't understand the purpose of the counting or the for example and how to say they mistakes or how to say the person enumerator cannot work every day or every hours, so the enumerator can count the just one day of the 365 days of year. So the AMP counters count every day, and we can take the average of the survey. We can how to say how to say accuracy is quite high if we compared with personal based manual counting. And for example, how to say if we do interview survey to the passenger sometimes doesn't understand the location name, or they don't answer properly. Sometimes they will lie about where did you go, where he did go, or he will go, where he will go. So this AMP counter will not be controlled by such personal idea. So how to say the accuracy is quite higher than the traditional ordinary traffic surveys. So is it okay? Understand?
Yes, I got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
What is the comparison between physical survey and Wi-Fi based surveys in traffic planning, sir?
Comparison. Yeah, actually, how to say this one. Comparison of the for traffic survey, the AMP counter doesn't AMP counter count the number of the smartphone around the 200 meter radius, so that it is impossible to count the number of the smartphones by manually. So it is impossible to compare the physical analysis and the AMP number of the collected smartphones by the AMP. But this result is quite useful to explain the accuracy of the counting and counting ability of the AMP sensors. The AMP on-site collected 1,840 unique signals in peak this period in the parking area. This is quite midnight, so we don't have to count the applying the 30% of the Wi-Fi on rate, we can expect 5,500 or 6,000 people should be there, and the venue capacity is 44,000, and the event organizer may have deployed 1,500 staff, including the security. So it is quite similar about the sampling rate. Our analyzed estimated number of the passengers in the site And there's according to the organizer, it is around the 5,500 in the area. So this is a comparison between the AMP counting result and the physical result. You understand?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, my question is that which type of vehicle is accounted in this survey?
बैग में
Ah.
रख लेता हूँ ना.
Yes.
Thank you.
the-
बात कर.
yeah. Yes. This is
मैं करूँ.
okay. Let me explain first. Your question is how we can detect the number of the vehicle, but this passenger survey is based on the passenger. The smartphone is connected with the personal, or the smartphone is under the control of the personal ownership. So our target is a person-based trip survey, person trip survey. So that we don't count any vehicles. We count the number of passengers in the bus or number of passengers in the car, but we cannot detect we cannot detect, classify the number of cars or type of the vehicle. So our system is quite oriented to the passenger movement, and it is a kind of disadvantage of our system, but our target is MRT development or passenger services, BRT development or MRT development. So large investment, assessment of the large investment based on the passenger volume. So the accuracy of the passenger movement is quite important for our investment analysis. So that's why this system is quite advantage for such MRT or BRT or the mass transit survey, mass transit system improvement. So another idea that in each car, each vehicle, they have now Bluetooth the signal that each car have. So that we can count the Bluetooth to detect the passenger cars or vehicles. But now we have many Bluetooth users based on the smartphone. So right now it is not so applicable in our system. So this is my answer. And do you understand?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Konnichiwa, sir.
Oh, konnichiwa. Yoroshiku.
Sir, my doubt is that the system which you explained, like you have taken, you have experimented that certain concept in some part of area, like which has like high speed Wi-Fi. Like, does it apply to other places? Like, how can we adopt this system in India? To make it more effective, we can we like know more about the details about that, so that we can implement these things in India and even the other nations as well.
Yes,
that is my doubt.
Yeah, this is not so difficult. Let me show some how to say a bit. Just wait. Let me show my screen and let me show my screen and the system. This is the inside of our AMP counter. The AMP counter itself is quite simple. This is a Raspberry Pi. How to say this is power supply. This is this is the how to say Wi-Fi router, and this is the 3G modem, 4G modem. So that we have only 4 units, and the Raspberry Pi server count the number of the the unique ID, and every 15 minutes it summarize the result and send to the data to the server through the Wi-Fi, through the 3G modem. And this kind of system is easy to develop by the supplier, or we can supply this kind of system. And how to say, the software is quite important. Software, how to say, anonymization process is quite important, and the application of the D3JS is quite important, and the cleaning of the data. Sometimes we also detect not so important data, so the cleaning algorithm should be developed under this kind of system. And this machine itself is just how to say, 1 unit 300 USD can be developed. And but this case is quite expensive. This case is the cost more than inside of the system. This case is weatherproof, temperature proof, waterproof, the case. So this case is I think the 500 USD around that. And how to say, for application in India, our PADECO India in Mumbai is now studying about the application. And for example, the railway system, urban railway system is quite old in India. But the I think some may know about the very congested Mumbai railway system, Western Railway or Central Railway. And the station itself is quite small, old, and just one bridge over the platform. So that we can develop we can add the additional bridges between the platform or the underpass between the platform, and we can put our AMP counters every platform, and we can detect the movement between the platform to the entrance of the station. And we can, based on the passenger movement, we can optimize the location of the entrance, or which underpass is necessary, which overpass is necessary for passenger movement. So we are trying to do such analysis in Mumbai. And in near future, we can expand such experience in Delhi or your city, the large cities, with let's say, all the passenger train system. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, is the data analysis you use can be called big data analysis?
Can you repeat?
Is the data analysis you use can be called as a big data analysis?
Yes, it is. We call it big data analysis, and how to say, it is quite big data. Every day, as I explained, 300. This one, the 3 million unique ID were detected. The unique number of unique ID is 300,000. And we have the data of movement, and such record is more than 3 million. And every day we have such 3 million record every day. So how to say, 1 month's record is 6 giga or 7 giga. 6 gigabyte is necessary for the recording the 1 month. So it is quite, I can say it is a big data. Is it okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Sir, we have one question from the participant
Yes.
from Vishal Vishwanath. Can a
Mhm.
detailed DPR be prepared, and is it having potential to install in Indian Metro project?
Yes, I think so. As I explained, where I explained this one, yes, this one. For Metro FS or Metro DPR, I think the DPR the client has the idea of the location of the station, of the expected alignment, and at the station, we can put our AMP servers, AMP counters, and we can count the passenger movement, existing passenger movement between the station, and the previous, how to say, DPR traffic survey is quite ordinary methodology, and just a 2 or 3% counting analysis were used for the such big investment. But our AMP counters always take the more than 30% sampling rate, and we can do every day, so that we can analyze more accurate. We can collect more accurate data of along the existing alignment, along the expected alignment of the metro. So how do I say? It is quite useful for analyze the existing passenger patterns of the potential metro user in the city. So I think it is quite useful. Is it okay?
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you very
We have
much.
come to an end now. Now I request Professor Nisar Ahmed, sir, to give a vote of thanks.
Yes, thank you very much.
So first of all, thank you very much, Mr. Yoshiya Nakagawa, so for accepting and delivering this wonderful talk. I'm sure that so our audience across the RIT and also the other places are enjoyed your presentation and your talk. So specifically, if I see your presentation, your highlights on the traffic survey, specifically the Wi-Fi based survey, so which has a very high accuracy and also the high demonstration and potential, it's marvelous. I'm sure that so the students, the community, students community, specifically those who are studying in the traffic management, traffic studies, and then specifically they can use this kind of analysis, this kind of strategy for their final year project reports. And the second thing is the way you explain the comparison between the physical survey and Wi-Fi survey. Excellent. Excellent. So on behalf of the RIT community, so I am thankful for you, thankful to you for a wonderful presentation. So in fact, the thanks to Dr. Prabhat Srivastava, so my PhD fellow from IIT Bombay, who connected you for this presentation. In fact, this international webinar was supposed to be in July. When I first contacted you, so you accepted for this webinar. Somehow because of this, the COVID pandemic, so it has been shifted. And then you quickly responded to deliver this presentation again for this. And then since you are quite often you are visiting Mumbai, so we are very much happy from the RIT to welcome you if you come down to the RIT Bangalore and have a one-day workshop where so our students community, the faculty and also the professional can meet you one-to-one, can discuss with you so that so our students community can utilize your expertise, specifically the large and vast expertise you have in traffic management and all. So at the end, thank you once again. Thanks to all our students community audience for joining with this the wonderful the session. Thank you all. So there is one announcement. The next afternoon session, it was supposed to be from Dr. Prashant Motwani. So it has been shifted instead of Dr. Prashant Motwani.